So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow.
Son, father, brother, brother-in-law, neighbor, one who we have known and loved as beloved family, a loyal friend, a colleague, and so much more. We give you thanks for the whole range of human experience that was Rob's, the wonder, the joys, and the challenges.
I met him when I was working with Marty Swanson. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and Rob loved to work.
And now I would like to invite Kaylee, Rob's daughter, to come and speak.
Thank you all for coming and being here to celebrate my father's life with us. I can see that he was loved by so many people. My dad was a good father to my brothers and I, because at the end of the day, he was always there for us. The countless rides to see my friends or to go to dance, he was there. Anytime I needed to be bailed out of any situation, my dad was there. Whether he was helping me and my friends try to break into our car when we got locked out in the middle of Edmonton in the middle of winter, or driving to Red Deer to fix my walls the day of, he was there. My dad and I shared many memories doing the things we loved together. We loved to go on walks, go to the gym, and get coffee together. Believe it or not, my dad was a big fan of the girly drinks at Starbucks. He loved sweet cream cold foam a lot. We loved to do crafts together and anything else under the sun to cure our boredom. Growing up, we always played soccer hockey in the halls. We watched hockey and listened to my dad share stories about his crazy yet beautiful life, and I will hold those close to my heart forever. My dad did what he could to make me and my brothers happy. He was always there when we needed him, and I couldn't be more grateful for the years we shared together. I love you, Dad, and I'm going to have to miss you longer than I've known you. Thanks.
I don't like speaking publicly, but I'll just say this is we're all gathered here for the same reason, and it's clear the impact he had on all our lives.
I feel his absence right now. Trying to sum up who he was in just a few minutes feels impossible. He was everything to me, my best friend, my safe place, my constant companion, and the person who could always make me laugh, even on the hardest time. Rob always told me he wasn't good dealing with people, and he didn't really know how to make friends, and that social situation made him anxious. He said he was not comfortable with other people around him, but the truth is, people loved him because he was just himself. He never tried to impress anyone. He wouldn't pretend to put any show to get your approval. But his personality, his honesty, his quiet humor, it was impossible not to like him. I've met some Filipinos working in Superstore, Walmart, Tim Hortons, and even a liquor store. And many of them remembered Rob, not always by his name, but as a friendly, kind man who would make their day a little brighter. That was who he was. Without even trying, he left a lasting impression. He made me laugh, not always because of his joke, because sometimes I don't understand it. So he's just gonna explain it to me and get pissed off, and then I was like, oh, never mind, Mary. But then, and so I didn't understand him, and I'd sit there puzzled, and he burst out laughing and say, "I should take video whenever I tell you a joke." That was hilarious, but your reaction was even funnier. With can express, I truly blessed to love him and to have been loved by him. Wherever you are, Rob, thank you. Thank you, my love, for all the laughter, for the music.
Well, Rob had a tendency of alto rumble. I had a better relationship. I will miss it.
Thank you.
My name's Scott Calderwood. I'm one of Rob's childhood friends. Bill, it's finally nice to get a face with the stories that Rob used to tell. So, good morning, everyone. I feel incredibly honored and deeply emotional to be standing here today remembering one of my oldest and dearest friends, Rob. He was always Robbie to me. The first time I met Rob, I was about 6 or 7 years old. My parents were visiting his, and I was taken to his room where he was playing. As soon as the adults left, Rob looked at me, put his finger to his lips, and said, "Shh, don't say anything. I'm not supposed to be doing this." He was building a Lego gun, which was not allowed, and I'm guessing the ban on the Lego gun was because he was shooting pieces at his sister Janine, or breaking things. I could stand here all day, sharing stories of our adventures and experiences, but it's some of the little things that seem to dwell in my thoughts. Like when Rob received his learner's license, and his dad was teaching him to drive. I have a vivid picture when I wasn't too excited by the single baked potato inside of butter that was sitting on the table. It's funny how the small things can stick with us even after 35 years. As a teenager, Rob was wild, fearless, and full of life. Drive were a significant influence in my life. Rob and I didn't see much of each other once we were both married, started our families, and relocated to different cities. But we did our best to stay connected with occasional trips, boys' weekends, or phone calls. Rob changed quite a bit as he moved into his 30s. He became less fearless and adventurous, likely due to maturing as a family man, but he still had other passions to pursue. I could feel how much he cared. Rob and Mary stopped by my house several weeks ago while I was away. We ended up chatting on the phone for a bit, and we decided that we would find a time to get together in Red Deer for dinner so we could meet Mary and catch up. Haley, your dad was also eager to see you in Red Deer, and he was quick to say that. Mary, I finally met you yesterday, but I want you to know you brought Rob back to himself You gave him joy, love, and light. You reminded him of who he was. I'm so grateful that he had you in his life, even if just for a short time, and I know he was too. Tyler, Jordan, Kaylee, your dad often showed a tough exterior, but he really cared deeply and was much more sensitive than he liked to let on. I know that losing your dad is devastating, and there was no opportunity to say goodbye. Maybe your last words were heartfelt, maybe they were not. A relationship between a parent and child can be sometimes complicated, but please know with all confidence that your dad loved you with every fiber of his being. I had conversations with him when all was well and when there were challenges. In the challenging times, he was more expressive of his love for you. Please always remember how much he loved.
Hello, I'm Brent Poirier. I was a neighbor for the Hawryluks for many years, about 19. Our kids got to grow up together. There was a many common saying in our house that we'll only do that at the Hawryluk's house. From potato guns off the deck, trampolines jumping off the deck. So there was many years we had our kids grow up and go camping, had some adventures. So it was very surprising to hear about this last week when I'm Facebook friends with the kids and I shared this. So it was something I kept near and dear to me as we matured as adults. One funny story I'd like to share is I can remember receiving a phone call from Rob going, "Okay, the dog's okay." I snuck into the garage, the sensor went off, the alarm's going off, but Levi's just fine. So Rob is always, he led an adventurous and fun life. So that's the memories I'll carry.
I'm not very good at this, so I'm going to be short and sweet. I have a lot of good memories with Rob as well. I met him when I was about 14. I'm Jordy Cropley. And I'm going to miss him a lot. And I just wanted to say what Scott said. Man, that was amazing. That is just everything the way I feel type thing, for everybody, so. And I do remember when Rob made his skating rink in the backyard, when they're talking a skating rink, it is the whole freaking backyard, fence to fence. I remember him sending me pictures, because he's a little bit redneck too. So am I, but he's crazy. The other thing, he used to carry a fork with him in case he got road rage. That was his weapon of choice, a fork. And he's so big. One other story, when we were in school, Catholic Central High, and the bully in the school, the toughest guy in school, and he wanted to pick a fight with me, just to fight me, just to see how tough I was, and I didn't want no part of it. And Rob shoves him out of the way, a bunch of F, whatever, and he stood up for me. And then a week later, I got in a fight with that guy, and I beat him to a pulp. But Rob would do anything for anybody. Jordy Cropley. Yes. See, I'm nobody.
Very good at this. Anyone else?
Connor Burkholtz. kind of grew up with the boys, a whole family. A lot of stories are stuck in my head with Rob. He really made the whole open door policy kind of a new thing. His doors were never locked, which led to more shenanigans in that house than I think I have enough memory to say a lot of them. One of the big things that I remember so well about Rob was he always had the ability to look at things from your point of view. And it was never judgmental, no matter what you were doing or what he caught you doing. And he always took care of you. I remember living at Rob's house for probably longer than I should have. And he was truly like a father. He took the time to be with you no matter who you were or what you were going through. And the crazy, crazy stuff that he would pull. Endless pranks. Most of the time we took it too far. And he'd catch him. Like putting the entire house upside down, literally, for him to come home to. And then there was the retaliations. Rob was up earlier than you and you had more time to think about it. Loved fireworks inside the house or outside. He was an amazing man to have in your life. I know that I took it for granted later on. But will be deeply, deeply missed. I think that's fair for everyone to say. He was a great man. He always took care of everyone, no matter who you were. One of my favorite stories of Rob. We were out one night. Me, Tyler, numerous other friends got home probably 2, 3 in the morning. Rob had a hot tub right beside the house. And there was no rules with the hot tub that we knew of. So 3 a.m. we all decided to pile in the hot tub. Rob, as always, had to work the next morning. So we noticed his window was open. So then it was time to start splashing water in through the window just to see if we could wake him up. And we did. And he came outside. He wasn't mad, but just in utter shock that we managed to get into the house, 6 or 7 of us, get the hot tub lid off, get in the hot tub, and then not wake him up until it was time to start putting water in through the window. As soon as he realized the precision and accuracy that we had in order to pull that off without waking him up until we decided to, he shook his head, he said goodnight, and he walked back in, and he said, "I'm closing my damn window." That was the end of it. Then it was time to shut it down. He was an amazing man, and he will be very, very missed.
I'm Dale. Sorry. Fincarrick, I guess. I'm another old friend of Scott's from childhood. And, I got a call last week from an old friend too, Jeff Diebel. And, wow, it was a shock. And I guess how you say, me and Rob over the years hadn't, stayed in touch as much as we should have, but remembering a lot of the fun times. And Rob loved to fish. And I still remember checking out little trout ponds between Nobleford and Granham and Barrens. And one afternoon we were out fishing, and Rob started going, here, fishy, 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 and nothing. Finally, Rob goes, fish, bite the damn hook. And not even a second later, his rod went down. And I still remember that. And I looked over at him, and I'm going, here, fishy, 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 fishy. And I've heard that over the years, kids out fishing. And every time I do, it reminds me of Rob. And other times, I remember going down to the old man, and the guy got stuck down by the river. And Rob always had a cord in the back of his truck, his old little Dodge Dakota. That cord had so many knots, rips, wrapped up with duct tape and tape. But we managed to get this guy pulled out. I don't know, probably still to this day that cord is still in his truck. But I just wanted to say, Rob, I'm gonna miss you. Take care, bud.
I know that many of you will have other stories and memories of Rob, and I invite you to share those with each other when we move to the reception. And now we will remember Rob in pictures.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angel. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Drive on the streets 'cause she's my companion. I walk through the hills 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me windy. And I never worry, now that is a lie. I don't ever want take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Yeah, yeah,
Scared if you want me to.
not prepared, but if I have to, I said I can make you scared. It's kind of what I do. If you're prepared, here's what I propose to do. You're in Russia, and more a million works of art are whisked out to the world. When the Nazis find the whole place dark, I think God's left the museum for good. Make you scared, if that's what I do. If you're prepared, if I have to, if I make you scared, and you pay me to, then that's the deal. Now here's what I can do for you. Now there's a focus group that can prove this is all nothing but cold calculation. Tests have shown I'm so happy, 'cause today found my friends are in my head. I'm so ugly, that's okay, 'cause so are you. Book on mirrors, Sunday morning is every day for all I care. And I'm not scared, light my candles in our days, 'cause I found God. Yeah! Sad, and just maybe I'm to blame for all I've heard. I'm not sure, I'm so excited, I can't wait to meet you there. I don't care, I'm so horny, that's okay, my will is good. Yeah! Desert, blowing up the sunshine. Eat a slice from the tablecloth. La 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 la. Everybody's going to the party, have a real good time. Dancing in the desert, blowing up the sunshine. Everybody's going to the party, have a real good time. Dancing in the desert, blowing up the sunshine.
Remembering Rob in pictures reminds us that he did live a very full life. And now I want to share with you two scripture readings. First, from Ecclesiastes 3 selected verses, and I've chosen to use a paraphrase. There is a right time for everything in creation, a time for light and a time for darkness, a time for sound and a time for silence, a time for action and a time for reflection, a time for work and a time for play, a time for waking and a time for sleeping, a time for holding on and a time for letting go, a time for dying and a time for new beginnings. There is a time for negotiation and a time for confrontation, a time for advance and a time for retreat, a time for laughter and a time for tears, a time for intimacy and a time for solitude, a time for others and a time for oneself. But all these are God's time, and now is the time to be aware. And then selected verses from Romans chapter 12. Love each other with genuine affection, and take delight in honoring each other. Work hard and serve God enthusiastically. Rejoice in confident hope. Be patient in trouble and keep on praying. When God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Pray that God will bless them. Be happy with those who are happy and weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with each other. And don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people. And don't think you know it all. Never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see you are honorable. Do all that you can to live in peace with everyone. Some African peoples say that when a person dies, a star falls from the sky to go and tell life that something significant has happened. It announces that a being who once was here and present has left our lives. It's a beautiful image. It says that at death something incredible happens, something that is irreversible, something that causes reverberations, aftershocks in all the universe. We can scarcely take it all in. All of our feelings are intensified, and we are in a state of disbelief. It also says that each person matters in the overall scheme of things. We want our lives to matter, to be valued for ourselves, and it also shows that at death a person's uniqueness is clearly revealed. That is why we treasure last words and all of our memories. We know that this person will never again take shape, be physically present in the world, our world. The exact note of laughter, that peculiar sound of their voice, will never be heard again in person. Rob was a unique person who lived seasons and times, as we heard in the reading from Ecclesiastes. Those seasons and times are revealed to us through the story of his life. And the day a person dies, we begin to tell that person's story, as we have been doing since learning of Rob's passing. And I think we can all agree his passing was far too early, and that we would all rather be somewhere else than here today saying this goodbye. Nevertheless, we are here, and we have heard how much living he entered into and all that he was able to accomplish in his life. To know Rob was to know he had lots of energy. Perhaps some of that energy and that personality trait had some of its roots in his formative years. Life was on the move, and it brings its own particular energy. And maybe it was that energy that led him to leave school in grade 9 and begin his lifelong career in taping that just wasn't all drywall, tape, and mud, but expanded to very creative patterns and textures on ceilings and likely more. And that creativity is reflected in his family home. That energy would have him wake up at 3 a.m. and want to do something. My response would be, no, thank you. All of that energy had him looking for the next activity, whether it was work-related, and perhaps more so when it was family and friend-related. Within that energy, there was always time for his children and their friends, time for crazy activities with them, like letting Kaylee paint his toenails, fixing cars with Tyler, teaching Jordan to play and sing, having food in the fridge so any of their friends could come in at any time through that open door, make a sandwich, eat it there, or go. Teasing and pranking, like moving a room of furniture up on the roof, shooting a pellet gun from the roof at human targets, namely the boys. In all of that, his family shared that Rob had a huge heart for children anywhere and everywhere. Nieces and nephews loved to crawl on his lap and hear the special songs he would sing with them. He happily gave coins to the children in the Philippines, enriching their lives and helping them to feel valued. Janine shared that Rob was the typical annoying little brother, and also shared that the happiest season of Rob's life was when he met Mary through relatives and then when they married in 2022. I have only just met Mary, but my sense is that she brought calm that created balance with Rob's energy. They have spent their years caring for their home, just recently redoing their deck. They attended Oiler games. They traveled to Banff, which they did just a short time ago. They traveled to the Philippines together, where they hoped to retire, although his family wasn't sure how he would do that, as he found it extremely hot. Rob was known to say when he was there, he was cooking alive. Rob's unique being, his energy, his seasons and times gave us the gift of knowing him as an authentic person. He might have been quiet or somewhat anxious when you first met him, but as time went on during that meeting, one was blessed to see and experience him as the true personality of Rob. What you see is what you get, comfortable in his own skin, Rob. Rob was one who really loved, who really cared, and as Mary said, would tell those bad jokes and love her facial expressions. Rob practiced hospitality always. He loved people. He made friends everywhere and with anyone, with no age distinction, saw the good, let go when he needed to let go. He worked hard and played hard, and I have a sense that it was good if the play had a daring edge to it. I think we heard that when folks were sharing their memories. Our aching hearts, our tears and our laughter help us to really know how much Rob mattered to us in life, and his death matters to us too. A star has fallen from the sky of our lives, a star that will never physically shine on us again. However, the light he was in our life will continue to shine in our hearts and minds as we treasure our memories, a light that will now shine on the path of our lives and what direction that will take without him. Along with the light of Rob's life, we remember that in all the seasons and times of his life, we can be aware that God was present and is present and will continue to be present with us. So with deep gratitude and much thanksgiving, we say thanks be to God for the life and love of Rob Hawryluk. I invite you to join your hearts with mine in the prayers of thanksgiving and care. We give you thanks, loving God, for your presence at every twist and turn of life, and we thank you for your presence with us when the rhythm of our limited time merges with the beat of your eternal time. You have been with us today as we have remembered Rob. We thank you for the length and breadth and depth of Rob's life, all of its challenges and all of its moments of wonder and fulfillment. Each one of us here has memories that come to mind, and we bring them before you, grateful for the comfort they bring. We are thankful for Rob's strength, his caring for all in his own way, his creativity, love of music, fishing, the ways in which he shared his knowledge, his sense of humor, his laughter, his teasing and pranking. We are grateful for all the memories that warm our hearts and at the same time deepen the sense of the loss we feel. We pray especially for Rob's family, for the love of his life, Mary, his children, Tyler, Gina, Jordan, and Kaylee, his mother, Frida, whose heart I'm sure breaks, as this is not natural for a mum to say goodbye to her children. His sisters, Janine, Paula, and Par, his brother Jonathan, as well as many others of his extended family as they come to terms with life without their loved one. May they know your love, O God, is with them all the time. Hold all of Rob's family and friends in your embrace. Bless them with your peace and understanding. Renew in us the certainty of your love. May we continue to fully live each day as Rob did, with carefulness, with such adventure and justice to which you call us, and may we be aware of those who have suffered loss and stand with them shoulder to shoulder. We offer you this prayer and all the prayers in our hearts through Jesus the Christ, who taught us to pray together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And now, God of hope, we hold our stories and memories of Rob with gentle hands, knowing their joy, learning their loss, returning to them again and again to seek mending and meaning. We share these stories with full hearts, revealing their treasures, confessing their ache, hopeful that this keeping of memory will always bring peace. Rob, gone from this world and this life, may you know that you are loved beyond the telling of it, that you are and will be missed beyond the knowing of it, that love never ends, that you will be loved and cherished, and that one day we will be together again. Rest in the peace that has been prepared for you, enriched by our relationship with Rob, strengthened by the comfort of God, companioned by the friendship of Christ and the power of the Spirit. Let us leave this time and place of worship with the blessing and peace and love that is God's gift to to us this day and always. Amen. To know Rob was to know he loved music, especially rock music. And his family shared that he loved the loud, sometimes screaming voices of rock music. And that will likely be reflected in some of the music we have heard and some of the music that you remember listening to with him. So we're going to move now to the back of our space and into a time of visiting and caring and sharing with each other and sharing in some food. Like Rob, who was quiet until he got to feel comfortable in the company he was with and then become his authentic self, do that today. Sing along if there's music playing, or I'm going to invite you in your head to think about the song that you and Rob maybe listened to the most or you liked the most. I want you to hear that song, and then I want you to think about that bike that's out in front of the church, that Yamaha motorbike that he loved. I want you to imagine that bike starting now. Hear that noise, and he's revving it up pretty good. And I want you to wave goodbye as he waves goodbye to us. And then we're going to listen to Pink Skies by Zach Bryan. Change plans. That's just fine. We have 2 more folks who might like to speak.
Growing up with Tyler and Jordan, their house really became a second home for me. There's so many memories to think back on: the wrestling in the backyard, all the pranks. Rob's love for music is one thing that really I'll never forget. He saw that in me as I came around more and watched him play guitar, and ended up giving me one of his guitars, and that's just something I'll never forget for sure. He'll be greatly missed, and I'm really sorry for the whole family. I love you guys. Thank you.
Well, I was not prepared for this, but thanks, Jordan. It was really hard to hear the passing of Rob, and I want to pass on my condolences to the entire family. Anything you guys ever need, if I can help in any way, I would love to. Just trying to come up with one memory of growing up at Rob's house. And I say that because I basically did grow up there. We spent every lunchtime there, every evening, every weekend. One of my favorites was I really liked nachos as a kid. And Rob always had probably 4 or 5 supersized bags of nachos and lots of cheese. And the one time we got back after school and I went to go grab him out of the cupboard by the back door, and he had filled the cupboard with, I would say, 1,000 ping pong balls. It came raining down on me. And I'll never forget the laughter that Rob had there. It was always so nice running into him. I seen him at Superstore a couple months ago, chatted with him for a while. It's like time had never passed. He was always just so happy to see a person. I'll definitely cherish that forever.
and Rob lives on through all of the stories and memories. So let's hear Pink Skies by Zach Brown.
The kids are in town for a funeral, so pack the car and dry your eyes. I know they got plenty of young blood left in them, and plenty nights under pink skies you taught them to enjoy. So clean the house, clear the drawers, mop the floors, stand tall like no one's ever been here before or at all. And don't you mention all the inches that are scraped on the door frame. We all know you tiptoed up to 4-1 back in 08. If you could see him now, you'd be proud, but you'd think days yuppies. Your funeral was beautiful. I bet God heard you coming. Kids are in town for a funeral, and the grass all smells the same as the day he broke your arm swinging on that kid out on the river. You bailed him out, never said a thing about Jesus or the way he's living. If you could see him now, you'd be proud, but you'd think days yuppie. Your funeral was beautiful. I bet God heard you coming. If you could see him